So we're making Moroccan Harira soup today. I love soups and Harira is one of my favorite soups. I wasn't actually planning to make soup today. Yesterday I made naan bread, and in that trend I was thinking of making some other breads in the days to come, but it just so happens that we decided to have this soup for dinner today, so I thought why not record it. So yeah, let's get started. So the thing with Harira is there's actually a lot of ingredients that need to go into it, but once you have all of those together, it's not very complicated to put together. So what I've done is, before we start, I have got lamb chopped into tiny pieces, 1 centimeter pieces. I'm going to put all the recipe in the notes, so all the measurements and everything will be there. I've chopped up the onions, and I've got the lentils and everything here. So now all we need to do is just start putting the stuff into the pot that we have here. So we're going to start with the lentils. I haven't soaked them or anything, just throw them in there. And okay, I've been a bit naughty really to make this. If my Moroccan friends are watching, they might criticize me for using canned chickpeas. It's just I only thought of making the soup today, so I didn't have time to soak them. But you should do that if you have like a day, if you're planning a day in advance. Always better to use dry chickpeas that you've soaked the night before. So we're going to throw that in there. And the onions can go in there as well. And now the lamb, I haven't sealed it, I haven't seared it, anything. It can just go in the pot just like that. The only thing I did do is this boneless lamb, and I chopped it into 1 centimeter pieces. It's a bit tedious to do, but you should definitely do it, and you're going to thank yourself later when you're eating it, and you'll have those smaller pieces, because this is soup, this is not a stew. I'm going to put that in there. Now let me put the spices in. So I've got I'll put them in these things. I've got the saffron. I love saffron. Put that in there. Then we've got dry ginger. Put that in there. Again, the measurements are going to be in the notes. I've got turmeric. I've got cinnamon, and then I've got paprika here. Really, I could have had all of that in one single pot, because you need to tip all of that in at the same time, so it doesn't really matter which way it goes in. Once we've got all of that in, what we're going to do is put between 1.5 litre to 2 litres of water in here. I'm going to get a bit more. So it's as simple as that basically. Once all of that is done, we're just going to turn this on, and we're going to let this cook for 2 hours. After 2 hours, we're going to come back and finish it all off. Okay, welcome back everyone. So now it's been like an hour 50 minutes maybe since we put everything in here and started cooking. Just to recap where we are. So we put all the spices, the lamb, the lentils, the chickpeas in here. They've been cooking for an hour 50 minutes. While you're away, let me tell you what's happened. So first of all, I put like a teaspoon of salt in here, which is what I forgot to add when I was adding the other spices. And in addition, I put half the quantity of butter. And again, all the quantities will be in the description, but I put half of the butter in here, so that's cooking in here. Let me just show you, maybe, I don't know if it's going to be possible to capture it in the video, but let me show you what this is looking like. It's looking lovely, and I wish you could smell it. It's smelling so nice. If you could bring the camera closer. We'll put it in a pot later. So this is how it's looking. Also, just to let you know, I was actually using mutton instead of lamb, which is why my cooking time needed to be a bit more, so I turned it up, and from time to time I was putting more water in it. So make sure to do that. Don't just walk away and kind of plan to come back in 2 hours, it is good to check every half an hour just to make sure that you don't need more water or anything like that. So that's where we are with that. Now the next thing is, and this is also something that happened in your absence, is that I need to have the tomatoes peeled, de-seeded and diced. So I started that process and I thought I won't do it, I'll wait until the camera's on and we'll do it here. So what we did is, if you want to show this pot, so with the tomatoes, basically we put little crusts on each tomato and then left it in this water. Once it boiled, I just turned it off, put the lid on, and it's just loosened all the skin. So what I'm going to do now here is take the skin off the tomatoes and then we can de-seed them and chop them. So let's do that. It comes off really easy. The recipe was saying 4 large tomatoes, but my tomatoes were a bit small, so I have got 5 here. Okay, that was easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw it this way, and then I'm going to de-seed these and chop them. So just give me 1 minute. One here on camera, and then to save time I'll do the rest off camera and then we can meet again. 1 second, just chop that in half. And then just with your fingers just go through these cavities, get everything out. Now the recipe says to discard all the seeds, but I'm not going to do that. I don't like wasting food. So I'm still going to de-seed everything, but I'm going to put the seeds back into the soup. They're yummy, but we can use the tomatoes in their seedless form when we do the next step. So that's done. I'll do the remaining and then we'll meet up. So now all the tomatoes, they've been skinned, they've been de-seeded, and here's all the seeds that we got out. So I'm going to just tip these in the soup, and now I'm just going to chop the tomatoes into smaller bits. So see you in a minute. So now the tomatoes have been chopped. I've just put them to one side for the moment, and what we're going to do is this pot where the tomatoes came out of, it still has some water in it, so we're going to use that, and the rice that we had to one side, we're going to boil the rice now. I can just add it all to this water. I'll add a little bit more water, turn it on. 1 second. Okay, so we're going to turn this on. Come on. Cover it. Let it cook for 10-15 minutes until the rice is pretty soft, and then we'll do the next step. We're kind of getting to the end now, so yeah, let's do that to stretch. Okay, so it's been like 10-15 minutes now. Let's check the rice. Yeah, the rice is fine. Now what we're going to do is take out maybe 2 of these spoonfuls of water from the rice. Let's make it 3. Put that to one side. We'll use that in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water and then tip the rice in here, and then we'll do the final step. 1 second. Okay, so I've got the rice that's now nice and soft, and I'm going to tip that in here. That's done. And then I'm going to get that pan that we just used, it's empty now, put that here. This water that we preserved, we can tip that in there. And now I've got here the tomatoes that we prepared earlier, and I've got parsley here. it's good to have half, maybe 2/3 parsley and 1/3 coriander, but I didn't have any coriander. I'm going to make do with parsley, that's fine. So we're going to turn this on, and then in that rice water, first of all I'll tip the tomatoes in. And then tip these parsley in here, it's chopped. And then bring that to a boil. So bring that to boil, and at the same time just stirring it. While this is cooking, I'm just going to stir the soup. That's good. Okay, that's all fine now, so I'm going to turn this off and then tip all of this mixture in the soup. Let this cook for maybe simmer for another 5-10 minutes, and that'll just thicken the soup a little bit with all the rice and rice water. And then we're ready, and what I'll do next is I'll just dish it into a bowl just to show you what we have, the end result. So see you in a minute. Okay, so all done. I've dished this in a bowl, put a little slice of lemon next to it. It's going to be delicious. I hate tasting my own food and telling everyone how delicious it is, but trust me, it's going to be good. I want you guys to try it and tell me what you think of the results. This is if you wanted, you could have saved some parsley at the end to just put as a dressing on each bowl. Enjoy it with like French baguette, or I was going to make maybe Turkish bread with it, but enjoy it and let me know what you think.